Welcome to the Flash Finds podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm Emma Rogue, joined by Nathan the Cat Lady, a Facebook creator. So Nathan, if you're into pets, what kind of stuff can you find on Facebook?
Well, I make reels about useful tips for pet owners. For instance, cats don't like still water, so all of my cats have cat fountains.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. What a great episode. See you next time on the Flash Finds podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
Hi, I'm Alexis Ohanian. You may know me as one of the co-founders of Reddit, but more recently, a large part of my identity is being a father to my wonderful daughters. In my podcast, Business Dad, I hope to open the conversation about working parents a bit. You'll get to hear from a wide range of business dads, from Rainn Wilson and Guy Raz to Todd Carmichael and Shane Battier, to find out how they balance being a dad with a successful career. Business Dad is available now, so be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Did you know that Tesla was originally called City Kid? They formed 40 years ago, 1981, in Sacramento, California. Drummer Troy Luccketta joined the band in 1984, and in 1986, they officially changed the name to Tesla. Without a doubt, they are one of the most influential 80s hard rock bands. Their albums, Mechanical Resonance, The Great Radio Controversy, and Psychotic Supper, are in the top echelon of the genre, along with Motley Crue, The Scorpions, Maiden, Skid Row. Tesla took a break in 1996. They were back at it in 2000. And when their drummer Troy was a guest, we talked about his first concert. He shared his thoughts on legalized marijuana, shared a near-death experience story as well. We talked about superpowers, practical jokes played while on tour, the shows that he was binge-watching at the time, the music that was in his house as a kid growing up, and Troy talked about the first time that he heard John Bonham drumming with Led Zeppelin. Listen to this.
I was 17 years old, and, the thing that was so cool about the era that we grew up with was, I got John, Deep Purple, Ian Pace. Big, huge Ian Pace fan. Mm-hmm. So growing up with, those drummers were amazing because, we look back, and who would have ever thought to this day that, they're the greatest rock drummers in history of rock and roll. Mm. And very first song I remember playing, because I had a band I played with called Whisper, and then I went on to, I think it was in that band that I was probably 17-ish. I remember playing Good Times, Bad Times, and, the whole foot thing. Mm-hmm. At the time I had purchased I had a double bass Ludwig acrylic red set of drums, and there was a guy named Leonard Hayes that played in the band Y&T, which was Yesterday and Today before it was Y&T. Mm-hmm. And their first album, I was very young when that came out, and after seeing him, I got rid of the second bass drum. I went to one bass drum, and I realized I was much more comfortable on a single bass than I was a double bass, and just fit my style. So, and then, starting to play some of the Zeppelin stuff, that was very, very early on, and those would have been, my heavy introduction to heavy foot,
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Find them online at tedcorvsuppliesinc.com.
Talmor, Sheshin Murachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, it's Rachel Ballinger, and I am extremely excited to invite you to Rachel Uncensored. It's my podcast where I sit down and get real with my friends and celebrity guests, where we talk about all sorts of topics. And sometimes we might be under the influence when we do so. We cover things from personal stories to hot button issues. And it's the only place on the internet you can find an uncensored version of me. It's a side of me that you might not have seen before because it's not the most family or brand friendly. But don't worry, I'm still sort of slightly a decent human being. If you're intrigued, then make sure you check it out. New episodes drop every Wednesday. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the fun and candid conversations we have here on Rachel Uncensored.